If you have a business, you're doing marketing, you should watch this video. That's gonna help you a lot. Hi, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. And where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
What do you do for a living, sir?
Yeah, so I've been in the network marketing industry for about 11 years now, and it's basically passionate about helping people in a day-to-day basis.
What kind of education do you have?
So I studied in Germany for 4 years. I did a minor in economics, but mainly international business.
And how many years of experience do you have doing that?
11 years now. So it's 11 years in the entire career. Actually, I negotiated my way through from international business to actually serving people on a day-to-day basis in the network marketing world. So that's when I start to chime into that. Yeah.
Why do you love been doing that?
You know, there's several components to it. One of the things that I love the most is to help people. You know, and helping people, it becomes in a day-to-day basis. So if you're passionate about helping people and you're passionate about making a difference, because nowadays we live in a society where people don't want to help people. But if you have people that are truly passionate about helping people, having a different lifestyle, financially, economically, being to serve your family more and having that where you can create, that is what makes a passion. And that's what I've been in the industry for, because that's when I started in customer service, serving people in a day-to-day. You know, you call in customer service, the first thing that you hear is complaints, right? But if you change the whole mindset of it, it's like, I'm actually here to help you, to serve you, to fix your problems. So we are actually solution solvers at the end of the day. So that's what became a very passion behind everything.
You do marketing, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Network marketing.
All right. So how much money do you think someone can earn every month by doing marketing?
Wow, that's actually a phenomenal question. You know, when I ask people that when they join the business, everything becomes, you want to make an extra $200, you want to make an extra $500, you want to make an extra $1,000. And based on that, the philosophy, whenever you start thinking about things, is you make your first $500, now you want to make your first $1,000. When you go from $1,000, you want to hit your $5,000. And from $5,000, so it's a whole dynamic that happens behind it. But you got to understand the concept of believe to achieve and achieve to believe, right? If I can tell you you can make $80,000 a month doing this, you won't believe it till you start earning little by little till you get to that point. So you can earn, there's unlimited potential on how much money you can earn. It just depends on how bad you want it and how long you're going to be committed to achieving that goal.
How much money would you say you earn every month in doing that?
You know, in just network marketing itself, you know, in the 11-year space, we're talking about approximately $5,000 to $10,000 in just building a network. We're talking about, on top of that, you have your salary and you have all the other incomes behind it, but this is just part-time opportunity. So just believe you're doing something part-time, making $5,000 to $10,000 just by helping people, because at the end of the day, we are recommending all the time. So if you're consuming something or you're doing something that you're passionate about, you're gonna recommend it to everyone, right? You recommend the best tacos around the corner and you maybe don't even get the thank you from the owner because he doesn't even know you, right? But if you're recommending things and people are liking what you're doing, that's where the passion comes into between, and that's where the earning potential starts to create, because you're gonna like it. Now you have your friends, their friends have another friends, and that's how you start building a network behind what you're doing.
How can someone start doing marketing, or how can someone get a job in marketing?
You know, that's a phenomenal question. There's several ways that you can start actually in the marketing space. Right now you have social media platforms that you can start getting into the marketing space. We're becoming now into a digital era, which is completely different than what we had before, right? Beforehand, it was more magazines. That was the marketing back in the day. But nowadays, we have a social media platform. We have a YouTube platform, which becomes a marketing tool, a marketing material, which you can actually capitalize worldwide, right? Because you post a video and you have thousands, millions of people watching what you're doing. In that end, if I just talk to you, it's just me and you. This is the only conversation, this is the only marketing. But if you start utilizing the digital aspects of everything, you promote your product, you promote your business, you promote what you're doing, people are gonna start getting interest in it, and that's how you become leads into the marketing space, and that's how you start duplicating your results.
What is the hardest part in doing marketing?
Great question. What is the hardest part? To stay consistent. You know, one of the things we always think about wow, I'm gonna do this for 1 year, 2 years, and I'm gonna become super rich, right? That's a concept behind, that's a philosophy. But you know, the reality is, if you wanna become successful in anything that you're doing, especially marketing nowadays, there's a lot of competition, right? Why are you gonna promote something if there's already a lot of people doing what you're doing? So you gotta have a clear understanding of what's your why, and if you have your why super clear, that's where you actually keep on expanding on your knowledge, and that's actually what duplicates it. But in order for you to do that, you gotta have a clear understanding of what's your why, and based on that, you're gonna be consistent in doing it daily. What happens is a lot of people fail because, oh, I can do it tomorrow. No, today, it's right now. Now is the moment. Tomorrow is too late, right? And the clock is ticking. The time is not waiting for you. So that's the concept behind it. In order for you to be successful in it, you gotta be consistent. If you're gonna fail, it's gonna fail because of your lack of time, your lack of communication, and your lack of expectations behind everything, and not taking action is just words. But you gotta take action, but at the same time, you gotta be committed in order for that to happen.
What is the best advice do you have for anyone out there who is doing marketing or who wanna start doing marketing?
Yeah, you know, like I said previously, it goes hand in hand. If you have a clear understanding what you want to do in life, right? Everything starts with that. You gotta have a clear understanding what you do in your life. If you're starting in marketing, ask yourself why you want to do marketing, right? Because a lot of people start, oh, I want to become a doctor. Well, why you want to become a doctor? It's a whole 10-year career in doing something. But behind it, if you start focusing on what you're doing in a short-term solution, you're not going to become successful. So you got to think about it in the long run. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Do you see yourself in the same position you're in now, or you see yourself being committed in 5-10 years span in order for you to become successful? So that is the most powerful tool that we have to utilize our brain and to not think about just the moment. Because right now we always look for a short-term satisfaction, but we forget about the long-term goal. Where do we want to be? Where do you look yourself? What are you doing nowadays for have a generational wealth, right? Because you can become super wealthy from one day to another, but as much as it came, as much as it can go again. But you got to duplicate it in order for things to happen and have a long-term solution in the focus that you're doing. If not, it becomes a very difficult time. But that's one of my number one things in this 11-year span is to stay consistent, stay focused, and know exactly where you see yourself from now on in 5 years in future reference.
As a marketer, how do you think businesses can use marketing to succeed in the game?
Wow, this is a huge open segment because nowadays, even marketing, just me talking to you, that's a marketing tool, right? So mouth-to-mouth propaganda while using people to succeed behind everything, that's where actually things happen in a short term of time. But the reality is, for this to happen and for everyone to be able to utilize what we have in the marketing role, that is where it becomes super attractive because you can do it in the internet span, you can do it from mouth-to-mouth propaganda, but the reality is you gotta utilize a specific niche in order for things to happen. And based on that, that's where everyone can utilize it because a lot of people don't believe in the streams that you can do. But the reality is if you can start using it the right way, that's where success comes into play.
So what do you wish you knew before starting marketing?
I wish I knew it before the 11 years. Why? Because it's changed my life and the generations that's coming, my son, everything is gonna be a duplication behind it. You know, in the reality, we always think about what is the right time. There's not a right time. The time is whenever you realize what you want is when you take action. You know, so it's a very interesting function behind it because a lot of people, okay, what will you realize beforehand? Everything that happens in life prepares you to get to where you're now. So everything you go through, see it as a learning experience. And as the learning experience goes, that's where success happens. But a lot of people, oh my God, why are things happening to me? Why is this happening? Stay consistent. Obstacles are always gonna be in your way. But the only way you can conquer is going through the obstacles. Everything would be so easy. We can just pull some money out of the trees and everything would be so easy. But it's not. But behind it is the knowledge and the preparing part for you to be ready for what you have in store for life. And that is the main focus behind it.
As a marketer, Where do you think people should invest their money?
In leads, attracting leads. You know, one of the things is if you're a marketer, if you're a business and you're looking for marketers, what is it that you need to invest in? You need to invest into leads. And in order for you to invest into leads, you need to have someone that's going to attract the people to it. So that means it's several components to it, because if you're trying to attract people to your business, what do you have to do? You have to invest money for it to have funnels that attracts what people are looking for. And nowadays it's something that's called Google, that I'm sure you have used it, I have used it, everyone has used it. Google is the #1 searching machine in the world. When people search whatever you're doing, it's gonna pop up. But in order for you to do that, there's certain strategic ways you gotta invest in order for you to get to the funnels and have the right niche, because everything is a niche. You can be a personal trainer, but why do I need to train with you? Why do you need to train with me? Everyone has a specific niche, right? And if you have the specific niche, that should be your main focus. Because if you try to market everyone, guess what? That everyone is not gonna market for you. It's gonna be a specific niche that's gonna become the success behind what you're doing. Just think about something. There's 1,000 fitness studios all over the world. There's 1,000 restaurants. And every day there's a new restaurant that opens. Every day there's a new gym that opens. But why do people go to specific restaurants? Because they have a specific taste. Why do you go to the gym? Because they have a specific machine that you love to work out your legs, to work out your arms. Those are the same concept behind everything. In marketing, it's the same way. It's a specific niche that goes behind everything. And if you know how to leverage that, that's where it's
How many people are you leading right now?
15,000.
Okay. Leading 15,000 people, what is the hardest things, and what is the best advice to have for anyone out there, any businesses, anyone who is trying to succeed in that game?
The hardest part is that you're dealing with a lot of people. You know, we are led by emotions. Emotions are up, down, up and down. When you're leading with so many people, you gotta learn to be able to maneuver and to be a listener, right? You got to listen to people. Most of the time, we want to speak. We want to be the ones that get the attention. But the reality is, whenever you want to succeed of leading a lot of people, is you got to be a listener, you got to be understanding, and you got to put yourself in their scenario. And if you're able to accomplish that, you're able to serve people at no matter what degree they're in. So they can be the most grumpiest people, they can be the most happiest people, they can be the most humble people. You'll be able to deal with anyone because you have the clear understanding and knowledge of who they are, right? In order for you to know who they are, you gotta listen. You gotta understand their story. And based on that, that's where the true commitment comes also into play, because you start understanding and they understand you, right? And that's where everything comes into play. And I believe that's the most difficult thing, because the majority of the time we wanna be the center of attention. But the reality is, if you want to build and lead an organization, they are the center of attention. And, you know, based on that philosophy behind it, it's just be wanting to reality to be able to serve people and help them. And if you have that clear understanding, no matter who they are, you're going to be able to change your mindset. Just think about something. Whenever you're walking and you see someone that's grumpy and you smile, what happens? The person smiles. Yeah. That is the energy that you want to project with the people. And behind that, if you can project that with a lot of people, people are going to start liking you, and that is where the success comes into play.
You look so confident. Why are you so confident like that?
You know, that's a funny question you're asking me. Confident because I'm very passionate at what I'm doing. If you're very passionate and you truly have it in your heart, everything just comes natural. You know, thankfully, I had the opportunity to lead more than 15,000 people. So behind that, you know, you have to be in stage. You got to know what you're saying. And between that passion becomes the security, and that security is what leads you to a whole different level. Mm-hmm. And that is why I'm so passionate about it, and I can speak it with confidence, because I have seen the success behind the people using the marketing tools, behind people changing their lifestyles, behind people having a complete zip code change just by letting themselves guide and making their life a whole different scenario.
What steps do you take daily to boost your confidence?
You know, that's all. Wow, you're asking me some good questions, man. That's some good questions. Well, you know, when you're in your day-to-day routine, what is the most important thing in order for you to be in your niche? You gotta be consistent. You see, everything goes back to consistency. If you want something so bad, the day, as you can see, just goes by so fast. But the main focus is, if you wanna be accomplishing a lot in a day, you gotta wake up early. You gotta wake up early. You gotta start your day early. You gotta work out early. Those are the concepts where your brain starts to function the most. And honestly, in my peak of my career, guess what happens? I was at 5 a.m. at the gym, working out. By 6:37, I was already in the office making things happen. You know, so that concept behind everything is where the consistency, you are making time work for you and not against you. Because what happens? You go in your day to day, oh my God, I couldn't accomplish everything. You have so many things that you gotta do, but you're still sleeping in. You're still watching TV, and you're still not getting things done. So we have to take advantage of the time because it's not waiting for us. And if you have your schedule on a day-to-day basis, that is what's going to lead you to be successful. And you cannot be like having 20 things at the same time. No, it has to be something reasonable that you know that you can accomplish in a short, in a long term, in a mid-term goal. So with that, it shouldn't be more than what you can count with your fingers. So have 5 things, consistent with it, stick with it, and you will see how your life can change within 6 weeks of being consistent with that. Your life is completely in a whole different level.
How old are you, sir, if may I ask?
Yeah, I'm 30.
At 30 years old, what is the best advice to have for anyone out there?
You know, take life as a precious time. I can tell you, now being 30, I reflect back on the time. You know, that's something that we all do at the end of the day. We think about what we have done, but don't be too hard on yourself. You know, one of the things is we are always hard on ourselves on a day-to-day basis. And one advice that I can give you is stick to your original plan. And if things come in between, stick to your original plan. Just make sure you know where you're heading and what you want to accomplish. And based on that, no matter what comes in your way, you're going to be able to accomplish it, because obstacles are going to always be there. We know that. Life is not linear, right? It's not perfect. But guess what? There's always a way around stuff so you can accomplish it. But you gotta want it so bad. You have to have that burning desire for you to be able to accomplish it. And it can be less than 30 years old. You can already be successful at any age. Age is just a number. But you have to want it so bad that you can have the burning desire and you want it at that moment, short, midterm, and long-term goal. And that's what it's all about.
At 30 years old, what is the best financial advice do you have for anyone out there who's watching?
Save money. Save money. Tell me, it's an emotional thing behind it, because once you start making a lot of money, you want to spend it, right? The clubs are easy to go to. You spend all the money. Oh, I got it. And at the end of the day, it passes a whole year or it passes the month. You're like, where's all my money? I made all this money and you have zero money in your bank account. Financial advice is make sure you're budgeting. Budgeting is the most important thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't go out, you shouldn't go party, you shouldn't go have food. You gotta enjoy your life, but you gotta budget it in order for you to have financial stability in the long run. Because remember, everything that you do now, it's just a short-term solution to where you're heading in the long term. But if you decide yourself to go party every single day, by the time you're 30, you're gonna be broke, you're not gonna have money, and you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna be like, where is all this money going to? And at the end of the day, it goes all the way to the trash. So that is my advice. Save money. If you get paid bi-weekly, save a percentage, make it happen. And based on that, you'll see how you can duplicate your results, and make sure you can get a 401k as well and start duplicating with brokerage accounts, because that is where you can actually financially start duplicating your income, and you'll see how within 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, you're gonna have a bunch of money there saved for you, and you can get a nice house, you can get a nice car, and you can make a lot of things happen with that.
So I see that you look very fit. What is the best health advice or fitness advice do you have for my viewers out there?
Wow, I'm gonna say something very honest. I've been traveling a lot, so health-wise, it's been a little bit different, because you're traveling a lot, you're not getting the meals you're supposed to. So it's actually an interesting question, because I'm challenging that right now. I'm traveling so much for work. I'm in charge of the entire United States. So every week I'm in a different state, every week in a different city. So with that, something that's called still consistency behind everything, because if you know how much protein your body needs at a certain degree, you know that regardless of what you're doing, you should have a protein bar with you. You should, you gotta stay consistent with it. You just cannot slip on having that mindset, oh, I'm gonna do it later, it's not gonna happen. That messes up the entire schedule behind everything. So make sure you get some sleep, make sure you eat good, and behind everything, just stay consistent with your travel schedule. Make sure you still get some stuff done. Go walk, go make something happen. Like today, we're just walking around, just chilling. But behind everything is that consistency that's always gonna be the determining factor in success, in fitness, business, financial, in everything that you're doing is consistency and discipline for you to hit your goals.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You have a good night. Thank you.